Hello everyone, welcome to my country farmhouse sewing room. I'm Renee and today I have a great little project for you. It is fall and I want to show you how I make these wonderful little pumpkin blocks. These are made out of total scraps and very easy and simple to make, and today I'm going to show you how to do it. But to start off, I'm going to show you what I did with these pumpkin blocks. Is I have made this beautiful table runner, and this is made out of totally scraps. What we're going to be doing today, I'm going to show you how to make this little pumpkin and how you can incorporate it into a beautiful table runner such as this. The squares on either end are going to be for my next video, so I will show you how to make these square into squares in the next video. But these little pumpkins are versatile, and you can make these into small mug rugs, pot holders, table runners, even in quilts. This is great. So this table runner was totally made from scraps. I quilted it with a pumpkin stitching design on this, and it turned out really nice. The back is just done in muslin. The one underneath, this is another idea that my little sister had made, and she used the pumpkin in the middle, and then she did a square and a squares. But today, I'm going to start you off and show you how to make this scrappy little pumpkin out of very little fabric. So everybody, I'm going to show you what you need to make this little pumpkin square. So what I have is 6 strips of 1.5 wide by 5.5 long. And we are going to sew these 6 strips together to make the scrappy part of your pumpkin. And mind you, you can do this in any colors that you want. Some pumpkins are orange, some are white, pink, yellow, blue, purple, pink, whatever you want to do. I like the traditional. And I like the scrappy strips in variegated colors because it makes it more interesting. So you're going to need 6 pieces of 1.5 by 5.5 in those. And then you are going to need background fabrics, and this black I'm using for my background fabric. So you're going to need 6 1.5 inch squares. 6 1.5 inch squares. And then you're going to need a 1.5 inch by 3 inch square, which is going to be the top of your pumpkin, a 1.5 inch by 3 inch green piece, any green, any print, to make your leaf. That is going to be over here, and we're going to put some little ends on that. And then you need a 1 inch or 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch square for your stem, which will fall in the middle. So these pieces are going to kind of be set up in a row. We're going to use 2 of these little squares over the leaf to make the corners on the leaf, and then these other 4 squares are going to be sewn in the corners of our strips to make the pumpkin of our shape. And then I'm going to need 2 6.5 inch strips to frame out each side, and then 2 1.5 by 8.5 inch strips to frame out the top and the bottom of the pumpkin. Very simple. This is an easy project to quickly sew together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these together in strips of 2, and then we're going to sew the strips of 2 together until we have all of our strips sewed together. And I'm just going to kind of face these all on each other, and I'm going to go ahead and sew these together until I have it all sewed into one block. So you can see I've just sewed these together in strips of 2, and I sewed those 2 to that set of 2, and then I'm going to sew this set of 2 to this one. So I'm just going to face these down and run these through the machine, and then we'll have our pumpkin shape. And then we will get ready to put the corners on to give our pumpkin that rounded shape. I've tried to press my seams all one way. I think it keeps it neater to have them all pressed. Okay, so I've got my strips together, and we're going to come over here and keep that over there for reference. I've got these 4 little squares, and I'm going to put them face down in the corners, and I will show you how I'm going to sew them from corner to corner diagonally. And sometimes I like to fold my corner over and make like a little press line. This helps me get my stitch from corner to corner. Same with this one, corner to corner, this one corner to corner, this one from corner to corner. And we're going to end up cutting the back parts of the corners off, and then this part will flip forward. So you'll have your pumpkin shape and your background square showing. So I'm going to put these on the sewing machine and get them on. If I don't drop them. Okay, so just get that over here and set that one aside, and we'll sew these on. And I have my diagonal seam tape, which helps me get them straight. This can be done very quickly. Just want to get everything aligned, line up on my seam tape. And my next one. Okay, all 4 squares are on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the corners. And I want to trim it like a 1/4 inch from my stitch line. So I got my rotary cutter here. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball this to get the little corners off. And I'm going to cut off the threads while I'm at it. Now we're just going to press these little corners out to give our pumpkin shape. And I'll just finger press them open. And you can see we're already taking shape for a pumpkin. Okay. Now next, we're going to get ready for our stem. So this black piece, this 1.5 by 3 will go there. You'll have your brown stem, and then we'll have our leaf. So, and our 2 pieces for our leaf. So I'm going to kind of stick these right on top because these 2 pieces are going to cover the leaf part. And we're going to sew from corner to corner and corner to corner. And then this piece will flip down and this one will flip up, giving us our nice little leaf shape that we have here. So I'm going to start off and sew the stem to the background square or background rectangle. Get this done quickly. Finger press that open and put that there, and then we're going to sew the stem parts diagonally. And I'll take the one block off and I will show you how. One will go right on. I want to align my edges up as close as I can. Okay, and it's as easy as that. Now we're going to come over here. Oops, I got a little fold there, but you won't see it. And I'm just going to cut off the corner, cut the threads, and I'm going to cut this corner and the thread. And then this one will flip up, and this one will flip down. And we'll have our nice little leaf, but let me press it flat. Make sure that wants to lay down so it makes it nice to sew it together. All right, now you can see that we have our leaf shape, and I'm just going to sew it to the stem. So line that up. Get everything aligned. And I will press it. We'll have one long nice strip. Get a little finger press in there. And probably want to cut these little threads that get in the way. So I'm just going to trim them threads. There we go. Now this is going to go on the top of our pumpkin. So you can see this is really starting to come together, and it comes together quite quickly. And we will sew this to our pumpkin. And I'm using all 1/4" seams as well, which is pretty much the norm for any sewing. This up. Okay, and now we're ready to get the borders on. So I take the borders and I do the shorter ones. These are 6.5 by 1.5. And I'm going to sew each of these on the sides. And if we're a little wonkered off, if it's a little off, don't worry about it. Line it up the best way you can, because when we get all the sides on, we're going to trim it down. And I think this measures at 8.5 square, which it does. So that's what I'll do when I get all the sides on. I will trim it down to 8.5 square. Do the other side. Get everything lined up here the best I can. Okay, now we're going to press open. I really like the black background because it just makes my color stand out, but I have used white background, I've used muslin background. You can use whatever color you want. This is just what I like to put on my pumpkin for this one. And then we're going to do our 2 long strips, and like I said, if they don't meet the ends, don't worry, we're going to trim it up. So get these sewed on. Get the other side lined up. Make sure we get that straight. So we're just going to finish up our block. This is going to measure 8.5 squares. So I'm just going to trim it up where it's a little off on the edges here. And we said 8.5. very little excess, and I'm just going to turn it and just kind of make sure everything is nice and square. There's not much you're going to be able to take off. About 8.5. Yeah. Ooh, that one didn't measure out 8.5. We got it a little crooked, but okay, that's our finished block. And these are great for pot holders, table runners, quilts. You have fun with it. And if you like my video, please like, please subscribe. And I will see you all soon for the next block.